very much for that very warm welcome. My name is Aiyoh and I'm from Women's Aid Organization. But I'm here today not with only Women's Aid Organization, but with a very special organization called, a coalition called the Joint Action Group for Gender Equality, and we're called JAG. So we were JAG way before, you know, it's about we are almost 30 years old, or at least 25 years old. We were JAG way before the television series JAG. So, the Joint Action Group for Gender Equality is made up, and there's going to be, you know, a quiz at the end and prizes to be given out. So, All Women Action Society, AWA, Perak Women for Women Society, Persatuan Kesadaran Community Selangor Empower, Sahabat Wanita Selangor, Sabah. We have Perak, we have Sabah, Sabah Women's Action Resource Group, or SAWO, Sisters in Islam, Women's Aid Organization, and in Penang, Women's Center for Change in Penang. So yeah, some of the house rules, please, you know, do silence your phone, but holler, shout, and scream, and bring the house down when the awards are announced. So as I was saying, Joint Action Group, or JAG, you know, we've been working on women's issues for many, many years. However, one of the things that we have always done consistently is to pick out issues around sexism, misogyny. And so when we decided to do this Aiyoh, Wat Lah Awards, and there are many ways of saying Aiyoh, Wat Lah, or we can say Aiyoh, Wat Lah, or, you know, please feel free to change it in any other way, and we would like to do it. It's an actual here, so do Aiyoh, Wat Lah, come on.
Aiyoh, Wat Lah.
Okay, great. That's great. Okay. Aiyoh, Wat Lah Awards. There were 3 objectives to it, and I'd like to read them to you. First of all, to raise public awareness on what constitutes sexism, misogyny, homophobia, and transphobia. The second objective is to educate the public, that's you and me, to expect higher standards of behavior from public figures and institutions. And then the last objective, to encourage public figures and institutions to adhere to higher standards of behavior in relation to gender and sexuality. So, there was 2 parts to this process. These were our objectives. So now we need to go and look for who are saying all these terrible things that translated to sexism, misogyny, homophobia, and transphobia. But we were not just looking for who, we were looking for what. We were actually focusing on the comments and remarks. Because these comments and remarks, while they are being expressed by leaders and people in the public eye, you and I know that the kind of mindset that goes with it is really within our community. We wanted to raise awareness among ourselves, to ask ourselves honestly, do we say these sort of things in private? Do we say this, you know, over a party? Or do we make these terrible comments about women, even in our own lives? And so that it was very important for us to focus on the comments, not necessarily only on the people. Although, of course, we know that people who are in the limelight shouldn't be saying these things, because it reinforces what you and I may be thinking, what many people are thinking about women. So there was a 2-part process to it, and is to look for the comments. Now, and how did we look for the comments? We just looked at media. No, we did not look at Twitters, we did not look at blogs, we did not look at their speeches. We just went to the media. We just looked at online press and, you know, and offline press, as in the newspapers. Does anybody still read newspapers? Well, there are many reasons why we don't read the newspapers, but anyway, we went and started looking at the comments. But we picked up comments. We then sort of vetted it. We sort of checked to see, was it reported in another newspaper? So if we picked it up from Malaysia Kini or Malaysian Insider, we would look to see, did the Star say this? Did the Star report this, sorry? So we started picking up the comments. But of course, as we picked up the comments, we started getting a lot of comments. The next step was to look at categories. And you can see that there are many categories. I won't go through them because we're going to go through the categories later on too. So we started looking at categories, putting them in categories. And then next thing was to figure out, in each category there were 2 or 3 comments, who is going to be given that award. And it was really good fun. The women's groups, I think there must have been at least 422 emails around this. We just kept talking to each other, a small group worked on it, And once we figured out these comments belong to a particular category, we started voting around it. So who voted? Who chose the final winners? Who chose the final winners? There was no bribery involved at all. Okay? We didn't hire a, like an auditor's company or whatever it is, but I'm sure we'll get there one of those days. Remember, this is only the inaugural, it's the first of its kind. And so, we then got the women's groups. Women's groups are very familiar with this because, as I said, we've been doing this work between 25 to 30 years, and we've always been looking to see where are the comments coming from. In fact, about a few years ago, around 2004, we even came out with a list of sexist comments made by parliamentarians. So when we gave to the women's groups, all 7 groups were given all of these categories with the various comments. We just said, get your members, get your staff, get your volunteers. It was kept within the 7 women's groups, and we all cast our votes. Okay, we gave them a deadline, and then we just basically counted what comments. So that was the process. Looking for the comments, then we voted. Next, so we have the winners. What do we do with all of this? So we were hunted high and low. We couldn't fly in any superstars from Hollywood, but we realized we had our own superstar in Malaysia. So we were very, very lucky. We were very, very lucky to invite Miss Ribena Berry. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ribena Berry agreed to host the show. So, can I give her a warm welcome? And everyone, welcome to the first Joint Action Group for Gender Equality, Aiyoh, Wat Lah Awards, hosted by the delightful Miss Ribena Berry.
Welcomes to the inaugural Aiyoh Wat Lah Award 2012. My name is Ribena Berry and I am your host for the afternoons. Thank you. Now this afternoon, Punky Tech, where are you? Punky Tech, he's a tech person here. Punky Tech, should I go more forward or more back because of this picture? Okay. Punky Tech, tell me, should I go more forward or go more back because of this teacher want to interfering with me? That's good. Good. Apparently I'm very good. So here this afternoon, we are here to honor all the special men and women in Malaysia who have worked so hard to be misogynistic, sexist, homophobic and transphobic all at the same time. They are truly dedicated to thinking about sex. Now, while some of you here may be spending your time thinking about books or art for grabs or good governance, these people only like to think and talk about sex. Unlike many of our politicians, they have the sex on the brain. So, they have many opinions and many positions about sex and sexuality. They have so many opinions and positions about sex and sexuality, they can fill a manual. It's true, they have more sexual positions than the Kama Sutra. It's true, they are all like Chinese contortionists like that. These people have managed to stretch the truth and bend the constitution and contort their own moral position until they cannot tell what is up and what is down. But even the acrobat from China are not so contortionist like them. It's true. It's not easy, but some of these individuals have managed to close one eye, close both ears, throw their hand in the air, then they can put their foot in their mouth and at the same time put their head upside their back. I cannot say loud where they put their head. But suffice it to say, where they put their head is very, very dark. It's very, very dark in there. That is why when they think in this position, it's like the Dark Ages. How to think in that position? But the Wat Lah Award does not honor the individual as much as his or her body of work. The Wat Lah Award does not honor the person but they honor the actual remark lah. They honor the homophobic, the sexist, the transphobic, or the misogynistic remark. So we honor the remark. We honor the words lah. I got playwright here, you know how important it is. You honor the words, you honor the story. It's just like the Oscar. So just like the Oscar, you will have best actor, you will have best actress, but what everybody really wants to know is who will win for best picture. So the Wat Lah Award is like the Oscar, but for best picture. But got many categories, got science fiction, got horror, got everything. So it's like a Hollywood blockbuster like that. Why do I say it's like a Hollywood blockbuster? Because the words and the story that they create is a picture of Malaysia that is full of fantasy, full of fiction, full of truth, and bear no resemblance to any Malaysians living or dead. So some of the movies are like horror movie, Wat Lah, Aiyoh, Wat Lah. Some are like comedy, Aiyoh, Wat Lah. Some are like science fiction, like the 2012, like that. Because they say, because of homosexuality, the world will end. Aiyoh, Wat Lah. Now you may be wondering why the G-Jack want to do a award show about sexism in Malaysia. This is because everybody in Malaysia is getting to be very obsessioned about sex. But everybody is only half educated. Everybody thinking about sex, doing sex, thinking about doing sex. I cannot even stand in this room with all of you without the Mufti of Perak, Pahang, everyone there thinking I'm trying to have sex with all of you. It's true.
Let's do it. Come on.
We should after we do know because we finished the award. And everywhere in Malaysia got double standards. If you are a member of the opposition and you are a woman and you got a photograph of you on the internet, then they call it sex scandal. They say you must resignation. But if you are a man, you got video out there showing you having sex, they make you president of the MCA. So our country is very confusion about sex. In other country, if you have sex with an underage schoolgirl, they call you pedophile. In Malaysia, they call you Tan Sri. So without further ado, please put your hand together.